Coming up on Colonial Sportscenter, we have homecoming reaction from inside linebacker Mike Cook. Also, the preseason polls are out for basketball. Shocking news out of the women's side. And David Friedmann of the hockey team previews Ohio State. Coming up next. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Colonial Sportscenter. John Fisher along with Dante Verme. For those Chinese viewers out there, good morning.
Buenos días, buenas noches, y buenas tardes.
What time is it in Peru?
It's 9:30 here. It's 8:30.
Well, that's disheartening. Anyways, yes, David Friedmann, one of the top centers for the Army men's hockey team, is in studio with Haley Sawyer to talk about Ohio State, who set the attendance record last year at the 84 Lumber Arena, planning to do it again. Also, the preseason polls for basketball, one team goes from last to first. Who is it? That's when you answer.
It's a 50-50.
Give me a very bad comeback.
Okay, it's the men's team. It's the men's team. Okay?
All right.
They beat Kentucky and they were in last place. They were the first.
We will see. They beat Kentucky. I wasn't there. Either way, let's get to the action. Homecoming football. Right now, the Red Sox and Yankees, Steelers and Ravens, Penguins and Flyers, Bears and Packers, as well as the Celtics and Lakers are documented rivals throughout sport history. RMU and Duquesne tackled each other in a rivalry game on Saturday under the lights on homecoming. Nobody went home. They all came here, which is kind of ironic. To the 84, to Joe Walton Stadium we go, and the flag bearers are out. Nobody fell on a windy and very wet night. Dylan Beekle, Montour High School native, broke all kinds of records in the Whitfield to Devin Romming for 39 yards past Marcellus Branch, going through a little bit of a sophomore slump this year. While the wind was blowing, Austin Crimmins goes wide right, reminiscent of the Buffalo Bills. The 29-yard try goes right. No scoring in the first. On to the second quarter. Paul Jones, he's going to look for an open receiver. He's going to roll left. He's going to do a little dipsy-do. Toss into the hands of linebacker Aaron Reed, but fumbled. You heard my obnoxious voice. Fumbled. Nick Faraci picks it up the center. The forced fumble was caused by Ryan Thermal. Saves points by Duquesne. And Jones fakes to Howard, scores 7-0 RMU. Instead of using the arm, he uses his legs.
RG3.
Cam Newton.
Michael Vick.
Colin Kaepernick. Randall Cunningham.
Russell Wilson.
I win. Dylan Beekle rolls left. Kyle Cooper comes in for the sack, and that's halftime. Okay, one more. I'll give you another one.
Steve Young.
Warren Moon. Second half ensuing. A.J. Holderman is going to take down Dylan Beekle. Give me another one.
Another one.
Think about it.
Stan Humphries.
Holy cow. This is going to start the scoring off for Duquesne. A punt blocked by Charles Lipp. 7-2 RMU.
Sounds like a baseball sport.
If only Las Vegas had that as its final score. Dylan Beekle. His pass will be intended for Gianni Carter. DJ Myers drops the interception. You see the depression. He redeems himself later in the program. 40-yard attempt by Crimmins is good. 7-5 RMU. Maybe that's the score of the Red Sox Cardinals game. Maybe we'll get an update later. We'll see. 2 minutes later, 4 and out, Beekle to Carter, touchdown. 12-7 Duquesne. Then a handoff to Ryan Thermal goes awry.
It's a
Mishandled.
fumble!
I don't know who you stole that from. Safety, 14-7 Duquesne. And then it's Beekle to Romming. And everybody, I want to take your attention to one spot as he turns the corner. Andy Smigera, cornerback, gets blindsided. Good news, ambulances took him off the field, released from the hospital that night, diagnosed with a concussion. 21-7 Duquesne. Then, fourth quarter, Howard. He's going to run to the right. He's going to score, of course. 21-14 Duquesne. Down 7, coming back. Beekle, his pass. Well, it's going to try to go to Devin Romming after he's put under pressure. Getting the toes down. Only 1 in college, but you need 2 in the NFL. He could go to pro right now. Picked up by DJ Myers. Then, time ticking down. 7:34 remaining. Paul Jones to Dwayne Mitchell on the sideline. Up and over the cornerback. Puts the foot down and in bounds. Tick, 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 tick. 4:49. Paul Jones will sneak in for the touchdown. This should have been tied. But Hunter Kalegi misses the extra point. Army has to do more. Paul Jones goes for the hook and ladder. Deontay Howard on the catch, and it will be fumbled, picked up by Duquesne. And that's going to do it at Joe Walton Stadium. The RMU offense didn't show up for their first night in game loss history. Rather that be their first night game they lost. They're 2-1 now in their history. Paul Jones ran for 2 touchdowns while only completing 11 of 22 passes for 100 yards. Duquesne came up with 2 safeties on defense, and freshman sensation Dylan Beagle threw for 2 touchdowns and 202 yards. He is currently 15th nationally in passing yards per game. RMU will travel to the Hawks that fly over the sea at Wagner on Saturday. Here's RMU linebacker Mike Cook to preview and recap the game.
It was a heartbreaker. How did you think the defense played?
I thought we played pretty well. There's still a few things that we need to work on and shore up, but we'll be ready next week.
Speaking of, you're going up to Wagner, one of the better teams coming in NEC preseason #1. What are you looking forward to Wagner and how you're going to defeat them this Saturday?
We have to stop number 25. Obviously, we play well on the pass, and it should be a good game.
Of course, a big thank you to Michael Weston for doing the interview. Earlier this week, the Northeast Conference released its preseason polls for the upcoming men's basketball season. Head coach Andy Toole and the Robert Morris men's team were picked to finish second in the conference with 2 first-place votes.
Bravo, sir, bravo.
As we take a look here, Wagner picked number 1. John, this is your area of expertise, so help me out.
You know what? Wagner coming in, huge opponents, a little bit disappointing season last year. RMU, one of the favorites for sure. LIU Brooklyn, always a big rival. Mount St. Mary's coming in, defeating RMU in the semifinals of the NEC tournament last season. Surprising to see them in the middle of the pack. But as we said, they beat Kentucky. They can beat anyone.
And of course, the Colonials preseason starts next Monday when they take on Cal U, aka California University of Pennsylvania at the Sewell Center.
The Vulcans. Star Trek's up.
Well, lost in all the hoopla that was homecoming weekend, the men's hockey team hosted conference rival Niagara in a 1-game series that was both Robert Morris's home opener and their Atlantic Hockey Conference opener. Could the Colonials pack the 2 points in their back pocket against the Purple Eagles? Down the road to the 84 Lumber
Are they really
Arena
purple?
we go. I guess so. Look at the
Better
pretty
be.
passing play right here in front. The Purple Eagles, a pretty play in front. Brock Edwards puts it in. It's 1-0 Niagara. Just a pretty play around the net. And here we go. Los Colonials sacran con la 2 contra 1. Sacan a Cody Wido. Goal. Goal! That's Cody Wido.
Bueno.
His second of the year. It's a 1-1 game. Second period. Ben Robler put his first in. We'll get more to that later. Under a minute left, the Colonials on the penalty kill. As you see the puck go over. Pretty passing right here from Niagara and over with a ripper, and they put it in. Under a minute left. Niagara.
Niagara, you mean Nigeria? You mean Nevada?
That was Tyler Aikson with the ripper. It's 2-2. Now here the scramble in front and putting it into the net right there is David Friedmann. I don't know if we've mentioned his name earlier or not.
Wait, that name
It
sounds
sounds
familiar.
really familiar.
Let's ask him.
That's his first of the year. It might be over to my left like 5 feet. Maybe not, but here we go.
like
Niagara
15
working the boards. And the tip in front, as Isaac Coles puts it past Schaefer. And that's your ball game. The men's team took a point against the reigning conference champions in a 3-3 tie. The Colonials' power play exploded for 2 of 3 on the power play. Freshman forward Ben Roberts recorded his first collegiate goal. And we got his thoughts on that and taking on the Ohio State University coming up this weekend.
Well, was on the power play. Friedmann passed it down low to Jackson. We had a 2-on-1. I was just wide open back door, and Jackson made a great pass and just put it home.
I mean, obviously you guys have Ohio State this weekend. How are your feelings going into playing such a big, more key name program with the Buckeyes?
I think we're all excited. We know they're a skilled hockey team, but we've been practicing all week, working hard, and we'll see what we can do this weekend.
Well, thank you, Mr. Robillard. Be sure to follow Colonial football, basketball, and men's hockey on Colonials Corner, run by RMU and CSC alum Andrew Chiappese. It is your one-stop pizza shop for all of the RMU sports happenings. For more on Colonials Corner and more RMU sports, visit RMUColonials.com. And after a stifling win against the Fairleigh Dickinson Knights, who don't say knee, did you get it this time? RMU is smack dab in the middle of conference play. The Colonials traveled to the heart of Brooklyn, which I know you know that one. LIU was too much for Robert Morris. 2 goals past Joseph Cuda was all it took for the Blackbirds to caw their way to victory. Their time in NYC wasn't over yet, and it's time to put me to shame. Dante, the camera literally and figuratively is yours.
The men's soccer team's struggles continued in a city where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. As they took on Toto and his gang of terriers that made up the St. Francis Brooklyn men's soccer team.
You should go on
Colonials
tour.
had Lady Luck on their side as they got an own goal from the Terriers, but she walked right out of the arena in overtime when Flushing, New York native Kevin Creel flushed the Colonials' hopes of a second conference win when he blasted home a shot from midfield past goaltender Joseph Kuda to give St. Francis a 2-1 victory.
Bravo! You look at me with that smile, and I just can't help but feel great in my soul. Coming up next, the women have done something not a lot have been able to do, finishing last in a conference, picked first, maybe.
Are they going to pull the Red Sox?
They might pull maybe, just maybe. And also David Friedmann in a couple of minutes will be in studio. Well, he's already in studio, but he's going to be on your screens. Coming up, stay tuned.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
I'm starving. What's for breakfast?
Guten Tag!
Johannes, Ross!
I bring you arts-enriched Raisinblums, fortified with increased test scores and creative problem-solving skills.
It's good!
And good for you. Bobby? Susie? Don't worry, that's just the power of the art!
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
You ever think about buying a bigger place? Just waiting for a visit from the credit fairy. There is no credit fairy. How else will I get a better credit score? Look, you keep your credit card balances low and only open a new card if you really need it. No fairy?
There's no magic to improving your credit, but there's help, and it's free. Go to creditfairy.org.
Yes, ready. Go get it.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
Well, I hope I do this right. And welcome back to my favorite program and yours as well. RMU Women's Hockey took on the fierce Terriers. I just want to take you home and, I don't know, put you in a little purse like Paris Hilton. Woof, woof, indeed. The 84 Lumber Arena. Let's travel to the acrimonious arena, shall we? 10 points to what acrimonious means.
0 points.
I don't know either. It's okay. Quick goal by Sarah Lafort on the power play. 1-0 Boston. And you see the Terriers and the Colonials. Louise Warren takes the pass from Maddie Alaya. On the second attempt, she scores. 2-0 Boston. After one, the Colonials will mishandle the puck at center ice, but I think a little foreshadowing, this play will be on later. Rebecca Vint dangles around the defender, and Thea Imbrogno hits it home. 2-1 Robert Morris on even strength. The reason I say that is because they did a little bit of their scoring with some extra advantage. 4 minutes later on the PP, Richards hands it to Brittany Howard. Annalyn Lozier, yes, Lozier, is just going to wait for it at the right point. She's going to slap it home above the left shoulder of the goaltender for Boston. 2-2. It's all tied up. We don't like ties. I think Boston found that out. And in the breakdown with the RMUD, Lafort's going to score her second from Kayla Tutino. And she puts it past Courtney Bennett. 3-2 Boston. To celebrate like usual. 2 minutes later, Lillian Braga wins the battle, passes it to Elias. She's going to shoot. And Sam Sunderland, I think that's a football club, Sunderland scores. 4-2 Boston. Kenny, am I right? Is it Sunderland? Is that how it's pronounced? Okay, after 2, 4-2 Boston. Last play, Kaylee Fratkin to Louise Warren to Taylor Holes. Finishes it. 5-2 tic-tac-toe play. As Boston went 1 for 3 on the power play to push past the Colonials in non-conference play. The Terrier tendy, Karen Sperry, shined bright as she saved 32 of 34 shots on the opposite end of the ice. Courtney Vanette let 5 goals through on 23 Terrier tries. However, that wasn't the end of college hockey. Mr. V.
College hockey?
It's a Butcher Gross original.
Well, the Colonials returned to the ice the following day to take on the nationally ranked Terriers, looking to throw a monkey wrench into the BU's
That's a Foo Fighters
undefeated
song.
season. You ruined the reference. To the 84 Lumber Arena we go.
I'm ashamed.
First period, look at Maddie Cleus go hard into the net. And she lays it in. It's a battle for it along the board. Katie Fergus puts it in front for Ashley Pesci, all by herself. She puts it in, 1-0. Colonials over the nationally ranked Terriers. Second period.
Woof, woof.
Woof, woof, indeed. Kristen Richards takes the puck, and then watch how pretty this play is here.
Whoop.
She gives it back to Brittany Howard. Howard shoots, goes off of her skate, and it goes into Maeve Garvey's breadbasket.
What
She
a
puts it in.
fortuitous bounce.
Deuces for the Colonials. Deuces.
Deuces up.
It's 2-0.
At the end of the second.
At the end of the second, the third period, Boston down by 2. They have 6 on 5. Kylie St. Louis pulls her best Mike Smith impression.
Who?
Mike Smith, the goalie for Phoenix. You know, he put it in.
Nice try.
Like
I
she did
got
right
it.
there. Anyway, well, she put it in. It's 3-0. Colonials. The Colonials shocked the top 10 ranked Terriers with a 3-0 shutout. The Robert Morris victory knocked Boston University out of the top 10. Senior Kylie St. Louis and freshman Maeve Garvey both tallied their second goals of the season. Sophomore Ashley Vesey got her first collegiate goal, while freshman goaltender Jessica Dodds got her second goose egg of the season. She's given up 2 goals in 183 minutes between the pipes.
That's 3 hours and 3 minutes. This time, the women's basketball team isn't 10 strong, but 12 strong, and the Northeast Conference picked the Colonials as the NEC preseason favorites. I'm not sure a team that lost their first 10 straight games last season was picked first in preseason play. Dante, as you go down the list, you see St. Francis, Brooklyn, and Bryant in the middle of the pack, and getting some votes of Sacred Heart, Mount St. Mary's, and St. Francis U.
Yeah, definitely. What a shock to see a Colonials team that had a lot of issues last year.
And only losing one starter, Anna Gailite.
Yeah, and this freshman class they brought in. Freshman class they brought in too is great, and it's showing what the coach is picking her up.
You're seeing the NEC Player of the Year coming back in Artemis Banu, actually Ravelli, NEC Rookie of the Year. She's from Italy, don't you know? And I can't speak Italian.
Like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
That's terrible. Army opens up play on November 8th against Hofstra at the Chuck. And switching gears to women's soccer, RMU began NEC play with an overtime loss to Dante, not CSC, CCSU, and tied Bryant and Mount St. Mary's. As we know, ties aren't fun. St. Francis of PA got the hint after scoring thrice on Chelsea DeJagger of RMU. Christy Hamilton fired 7 shots on Abby Collins, 3 of them on net, and all stymied by Collins. Tessa McKibben scored her first of 2 in the 65th minute to seal the deal in Loretto, PA, and thrice is a band, don't you know?
It is a band. After being shut out by Ryder, the women's field hockey team traveled north to take on the Bobcats of Quinnipiac. The Bobcats led by 2-goal performance from senior forward Jess Russin and a 3rd goal from senior Christina Ramos sealed a 3-0 victory for the Bobcats, and in the process they helped keep the Colonials from scoring a goal in conference play, and they're still winless. But 2 days later, the Colonials traveled to take on the Pioneers of Sacred Heart, still looking for both their first goal and victory in MAAC play. Both teams were scoreless going into double overtime when junior forward Julianne Ashblaw broke the scoreless tie in the 86th minute to give the Colonials a 1-0 conference victory. The win was also the team's 8th of the season, tying the program season high.
Season high! Coaching accolades in sports are a monumental moment in time. Sometimes the players make the coach, but this coach deserves more than enough credit. And with the volleyball team's win over St. Francis University last weekend, Dale Starr won his 200th career game. Junior Hannah Hoffman led all players with 28 assists. This is the 3rd win out of 5 total that ended up in a 3-0 sweep. Now moving on from women's volleyball, let's get to the weekend schedule, Dante. Get ready for some action. Take it from here. We have men's and women's hockey. We'll be there tomorrow night, as well as Saturday. Biggest game so far.
Yeah, men's hockey takes on Ohio State. Moving on right there. We're going to go right here. Field hockey against Siena, volleyball against CCSU, women's soccer at Wagner, men's soccer versus Howard. And then Monday, men's basketball, preseason against Cal.
See, no, Monday isn't really the weekend, but I figured men's basketball coming off maybe their best
hopefully
season
be
ever.
a Magic Monday.
It could be a Magic Monday. You know who we're going to see on Friday and Saturday? Magic Mike.
We are going to see Magic Mike.
Not the movie, folks. It's Magic Mike at the Island, the 84 Lumber Arena. The best cookies are there. You should go there and buy the cookies. Meet Magic Mike. Come watch men's and women's hockey.
He'll charge you $10,000 for a burger.
He will, but it doesn't make sense because they're only about $1.80. Speaking of the Island, David Friedmann in studio, Haley Sawyer along with him to talk Ohio State, maybe some Penn State in a couple of weeks, and maybe some freshmen.
I have that remote, so I'm watching you. So don't change that channel. David Friedmann with Haley Sawyer. Coming up next.
These boys are my heroes. They come every week to spend time with my children.
At Robert Morris University, every student is expected to reach out to others.
They can teach them something no one else can.
Wisconsin.
They're role models to the children, and homework comes way before sports. Their grades have improved, and their lives are just a bit richer.
Okay.
What they do for my kids is truly wonderful.
Change someone's life. It changes yours forever. Robert Morris University.
I call them my lifeline.
Wrestling, of course. I am here with Romo. How are you doing today, Romo? Great. All right, so Romo, just a few questions. How do you think the game is going right now for the Colonials? All right, on top of that, what do you think about the play of Paul Jones and his defense just demolishing Morgan State right now? All right, well, you heard it here first. Romo with his insight to the game. Back to you guys.
Be sure to tune in to Colonial Sportscenter every Thursday, 9:30 p.m. on armycentralmedia.com and Channel 98 around the Moon Township area.
Hi and welcome back. I'm Haley Sawyer here with RMU Colonials Men's Hockey Team Center, David Friedmann. Thanks for being with us tonight. Now, you've had quite the summer, pretty busy summer. You were in Israel. Tell me what you were doing there.
Yeah, it was interesting. Basically, a year before, so last June of 2012, basically there was a tryout. I heard it was for the Maccabee Games, which is essentially the Jewish Olympics. Happens every 4 years in Israel. And I knew there was a lot of high caliber hockey players that got invited and to go try out. So I went and tried out, and I found out last November that I made it. And it was definitely probably the best experience I've had, not only hockey wise, but spiritually and culturally. Going to Israel, it's obviously I'm Jewish faith, and going there, it's like the homeland, and just being with it was a great group of guys, and we won, and it was just an awesome experience overall.
Did you know any of them previously, or did you meet everyone new?
Yeah, I mean, most of the team was from Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, and from the Toronto guys, there was 10 of us, and I knew about 5 to 6 guys, so I wasn't going in cold. It was awesome just knowing a few of them I knew since I was a kid, so it was awesome going with them.
All right, and also this past summer, I believe it was the summer, you went to the Devils prospect camp. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was actually last summer. It was awesome just going there, learning what it takes to be a pro, and just seeing pretty much who you're going to be going against all the other college guys and major junior guys that are trying to get a contract once they age out or once they're done school. So it's just awesome to see what it takes to get to the next level.
All right. Anything you learned there that you brought to the team here?
Maybe probably just how professional you have to be all the time. No matter you're tired one practice. It's a workout. You don't really want to do it. You always have to be professional in everything you do, and that translates off the ice, it translates on the ice, and it just translates in your overall lifestyle of how to be a professional person.
All right, and then fast forwarding a little bit to last weekend, you faced Niagara, which was a single game and not a 2-game series. Now, how is having one game different from 2?
Well, it's interesting because when you have a 2-game series, you play Friday. It's like if you have a bad game or you have an off game, you always have Saturday to look forward to. But it's not the same. It's not the same when you have a 1-game series. You got to put everything into one game, and you can't leave anything out there. You just got to lay it all on the line. And yeah, it's just we just had a good game, and obviously we tied, but it was good to work hard for that one game that we had.
And you had an assist in that game. Can you walk me through that?
Yeah. We were practicing a lot on the power play, and we knew that they were pressuring a lot up high, so I kind of just threw it down to Jacqueline, and he made a beautiful pass to Robes, and he put it in the empty net, so it was nice.
All right, and then a little bit ago on the show, we talked about the freshmen, and I know Ben Robillard and John had a goal, and John Ray had a shot. Can you tell me about the freshman presence on the ice?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we have more than a bunch of injuries right now to some key guys, and freshmen have done nothing but just step in and play great roles for our team. Obviously, with Ben hopping up on my line, he's got a lot of skill, and he's fit in very, very well, as well as John Ray is a defenseman, and he's held more than his own out there. And it's nice to see freshmen jumping in and stepping up right away. I know they're probably a little nervous, but they're playing really well.
All right, and then at that game, at the end of the third, you killed off a 5-minute penalty. What was working with the systems there?
Well, yeah, we got a core group of 6 to 8 penalty killers that are work very hard in practice, and everyone was pretty confident in that we're going to kill off the penalty. It was obviously 3 minutes left into regulation and 2 into overtime. Everyone's a little nervous, but we knew that we had enough. We had a good, strong core group of guys that were going to kill the penalty off, and the systems that we have implemented by our coaches are flawless, and they're going to help us win games.
And in an interview about that game, you said that that was the calm before the storm. Would you say that Ohio State is going to be the storm?
I'd like to think so. I just know that our teams, we're building, and we keep playing better and better, and we're going to get chances, and we're going to score some goals. So I'd like to think that, I don't want it all to go into one weekend, but I think that if we continue to play hard and play well and keep shooting the puck on the net, we're going to start winning some games.
All right. Well, thanks for your time, and
thank you.
Thanks for being with us. Good luck this weekend. And after the break, we will have the prime time plays for you right here, so stay tuned.
Nicaragua is a completely different world. We were there to bring nursing care to some desperate people.
At Robert Morris University, every student is expected to reach out to others.
The very first person that I met was David. Kept saying, "You have to come to my house and watch me play my trumpet." You could tell from the look on his face that it was just his most prized possession. I get back home. A few weeks later, I got a message that a gang had broken into his house at night and they stole it, which was his life. So next trip back, we gave him a new one. The look on his face was just complete disbelief. He just absolutely couldn't believe it. And to be able to do something like that is one of the best moments of my life. He said he'd never forget us.
Change someone's life. It changes yours forever. Robert Morris University.
These boys are my heroes. They come every week to spend time with my children.
At Robert Morris University, every student is expected to reach out to others.
They can teach them something no one else can.
Wisconsin.
They're role models to the children, and homework comes way before sports. Their grades have improved, and their lives are just a bit richer.
Okay.
What they do for my kids is truly wonderful.
Change someone's life. It changes yours forever. Robert Morris University.
I call them my lifeline.
Oh my gosh, that's so fast. Number 3! Dylan Beekle is going to roll left and sacked by King Koopa. Like King...
There!
King Booka, right there. Yes.
Can you dig it? Sucker.
Number 2!
Number 2. Buena pase, 2 contra 1, Jaco Aguayo, golazo! Golazo! Number 1.
Wow, that was fast. Number 1! Let's see a safety play receiver, shall we? Beekle throws, Myers tiptoes on the sideline.
Tic-tac-toe. That's 4 in a row.
Pit-pat. Thank you to everybody in the athletics office, Marty Golosi, Jim Duzick, as well as everyone in the Academic Media Center, Joe Hale, Ray Zapparoni, Michael DeLauro. It's been a great show, Halloween, and next Thursday, you won't recognize us, at least him. Take care, everybody, and thank you.